Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has secured further military support from the Czech Republic in his latest whirlwind tour of Europe.
At least 10 people have now died after a strike on the residential area in the Ukrainian city of Lviv. At least 6 people have died and dozens more are injured after a fire broke out at a nursing home in northern Italy.
On his latest stop in a whirlwind tour of Europe, Ukraine's president has secured further military support. In Prague, Czech Prime Minister Petr Fiala offered Ukraine more armoured helicopters and other weaponry. Volodymyr Zelensky said his armed forces also urgently need long-range arms.
Не тільки наступальну місію виконувати, складно, якщо чесно, проводити оборонну операцію. Це дуже складно. Це говорить про те, що ти борониш свою землю і ти не можеш досягти відповідної дистанції, щоб зруйнувати твого ворога. Тобто дистанційна перевага є у ворога. Тому це важливо для, я б так сказав, не тільки для наступальних, а для оборонно-наступальних дій наших військових.
Earlier, Zelensky honored Czechs who took part in the Velvet Revolution. As ex-Soviet satellite states, the Czech Republic and Bulgaria, which the Ukrainian leaders also visited, are among Ukraine's strongest supporters of its bid for NATO membership.
At least 10 people are now reported to have died following a Russian airstrike on a residential area in the western Ukrainian city of Lviv. The neighborhood was hit with a number of cruise missiles, causing the roof and top 2 floors of one apartment block to collapse. Dozens of people were injured in the attack, some critically. Lviv's mayor said more than 50 homes had been destroyed. Without naming the city, Russia claimed it had fired several seaborne missiles that hit army bases and depots holding Western military supplies. A fire at a nursing home for elderly people in Milan has left at least 6 people dead and some 80 others injured. It broke out around 1:30 on Friday morning in a room shared by 2 female residents. Both were killed in the blaze, along with 3 other women and a man.
Tutto si è localizzato all'interno di una camera, dove purtroppo ci sono stati i primi 2 decessi. All'interno di questa camera si è sviluppato un incendio. I colleghi del nucleo investigativo antincendi stanno già valutando cosa può essere effettivamente accaduto. Purtroppo a seguito di questo incendio, come purtroppo normale, si è generata una quantità di fumo acre che ha interessato tutto il piano destinato diciamo, all'ospitalità di queste persone anziane.
Around 100 residents who weren't injured have been transferred to other nursing homes in the northern Italian city. Rome newspaper La Repubblica said many of the residents suffer from Alzheimer's disease.
There are swamps, there are rivers, there is huge forest. You really have to be very fit to be able to survive in this kind of situation.
48 bodies have been found in this forest on the border between Poland and Belarus in the last 2 years, according to NGOs. Behind these barbed wires, hundreds of migrants are trying to survive.
People are beaten up, dogs are being used. I met people with dog bites, even kids. People are taken off clothes, mobile phones, documents.
In Poland, pushbacks have been legal since 2021. The spokeswoman for the Polish border guards denies that they are violent.
Jeżeli ktoś uważa, że polska Straż Graniczna zastosowała przemoc wobec tej osoby, to musi złożyć skargę do sądów, do innych organów kontrolnych. Jeżeli czegoś takiego nie było, nie ma takich skarg, są skargi na stronę białoruską, na polskich funkcjonariuszy nie ma, więc nie rozumiem, skąd te zarzuty NGO-sów.
NGOs accuse Polish border guards of not accepting migrants' asylum applications.
Border guards, army or police, people who come to the forest and meet refugees, they don't let people apply for asylum in Poland. Even if people would be speaking English, people would be holding papers.
A street wall stretches for more than 186 kilometers along the Belarusian border, built to prevent migrants from crossing. But some doubt its effectiveness.
People who are desperate find ways to get around walls whether that's moving across land, finding different routes, or whether that's taking to the sea in these very dangerous journeys.
A European agreement on a reform of the asylum system was reached in June. Poland will hold a referendum on this topic this autumn.
The violence which recently erupted in France following the death of young Nael, shot by a police officer, is reminiscent of the 2005 violence that followed the deaths of two other teenagers, Zayed and Bouna. They were killed in an electricity transformer where they'd hidden to escape a police check. Official figures reveal the latest riots caused as much damage in 8 days as the 2005 riots, which lasted 3 weeks. And sociologists suggest the same scenario repeats itself every time.
Chaque fois, on a une bavure ou un meurtre policier. Chaque fois, on a des violences contre les équipements publics, les commissariats, les écoles, les mairies. Chaque fois, ça se termine un peu par des pillages. Chaque fois, les élus ne sont pas entendus, les associations ne sont pas entendues. Derrière les émeutiers, pour parler comme ça, de ces émeutes aujourd'hui ou hier, il n'y a pas d'organisation, il n'y a pas de parti, il n'y a pas de syndicat, il n'y a pas de mosquée, il n'y a rien. Il n'y a rien derrière. C'est une colère qui passe à l'acte.
In 2005, as in 2023, it was often teenagers aged 16 or 17 who took to the streets to express their anger and resentment. The problems are many: ghettoization of neighborhoods, precariousness, unemployment, failure of the national education system, racism, discrimination and delinquency are just some of the issues cited.
C'est une frange de la jeunesse qui, à tort ou à raison, a vraiment un sentiment d'impasse, un sentiment d'être délaissé. Et ce qu'il faut aussi entendre, c'est que ce sont des jeunes, finalement, qui n'ont pas assez de présence adulte, en fait, autour d'eux pour, en fait, désamorcer un tas de problématiques. Parce que, voilà, quand on casse tout et qu'on a cette rage au ventre, c'est aussi qu'on a le sentiment qu'on n'a pas sa place et qu'on ne va pas la trouver. Et donc ça devrait interroger.
The social context in 2023 is especially tense. France has experienced several weeks of strikes and demonstrations linked to pension reform, and the country is still marked by the Gilets jaunes crisis and COVID-related restrictions. Another decisive factor in the latest riots is that of social networks, which hardly existed in 2005 but have acted as a catalyst. The killing of young Nael was filmed and broadcast on social networks, as were videos of destruction and looting, which also went viral.
These are the images you may expect from a summer holiday in France, the world's #1 tourist destination. But they're far from the scenes people have been faced with recently. A wave of unrest spread through the country after 17-year-old Nael was shot dead by a police officer near Paris. Lyon, a city in the southeast of France, attracts over 1 million tourists every year.
On a fait le plus petit samedi soir de l'affaire depuis 3 ans. Hiver y compris, c'est une catastrophe, pas un chat dans les rues, une atmosphère comme à l'époque du Covid.
It's not the first time that people have taken to the streets this year. This time, governments across the world issued warnings to citizens travelling to France. But according to France's Federation for Tourism, the latest wave of riots has had a limited impact.
La violence s'est passée essentiellement sur des commerces et non pas sur des établissements de tourisme.
Some tourists were caught in the heat of the action.
J'ai entendu des pétards, comme des coups de pistolet, je sais pas quoi exactement en fait ce que c'était. Bon, les gens ont eu peur et moi aussi je suis vite rentrée dans le métro en fait.
We haven't experienced any rioting, but we did have to leave Marseille early to escape the train shutdown.
Others had to reassure family and friends who were watching the unrest from outside France.
On faisait attention à ce qui passait, mais on n'avait pas exactement peur. Par contre, certains de leurs parents étaient un peu plus inquiets.
Yet, despite a climate of social tension in France, tourists seem keen to stick to their summer holiday plans.
We didn't consider cancelling our trip or anything because we felt like, even though the riots, France is a pretty safe place to travel at the moment.
A tennis spectacle for all. Wimbledon is trying out new 5G headsets to help visually impaired people enjoy the tournament. The technology is meant to allow fans to watch matches in real time from within the stadium, bringing them closer to the action.
Yeah, I think the Give Vision technology is amazing to be able to provide the opportunity for visually impaired people to see the action on centre court in real time. And you know, for me, the whole piece around accessibility, opportunity, diversity in tennis is massively important.
The headsets stream live footage from local TV cameras and enhance the footage to suit the person's specific site profile. This is the first time this 5G technology has ever been used in tennis.
I can't put into words how I feel at this moment, both as a visually impaired tennis player and as a huge fan of tennis, to be able to actually watch a tennis match, be able to track the ball most of the time, be able to get the details like the spin, the depth, exactly how close to the line it was. And it's just an unbelievable feeling.
As well as accessing the live feeds, people testing the headsets can switch between modes and use the camera phone in the headset to focus on whatever action they like.